BNC, 100% black and brown host all day. Finally, news that speaks to us.
In the song Don't Cry for Me, Argentina, Madonna sung the lyrics, "It won't be easy, you think it's strange when I try to explain how I feel that I still need your love." Of course, she was singing about Argentinian leader Eva Perón, but guess who's singing that same tune now? Omarosa, Clarence Thomas, Candace Owens, all of them black, all of them African Americans embraced by the Republican right. I'll begin with you, Nayyera. Omarosa was once part of the Trump administration. She's just been ordered by a judge to pay more than $60,000 in an ethics case. And now, to her credit, after leaving the administration, she has called the former president a racist, and she entitled her book about him Unhinged. But she says she has 60,000 reasons to complain that she's being treated unfairly. I'm looking at books by John Bolton and Bill Barr, the attorney general, now saying that the former president, Donald Trump, was unhinged. Does she have a case?
She saw an opportunity and she took it. It was her opportunity to get into the White House, somebody that she thought she knew personally. And I fault her less than I do the Boltons of the world, the Bill Barrs of the world, who are government experts who had built a career on the norms, on the system, and tried to use Trump to their own advantage, knowing what it would do to the body politic and knowing what it would do to the rest of the United States. I mean, Omarosa has clearly from the beginning been about advancing her own career. No shade on the hustle, but there was more responsibility on those who are the Attorney General of the United States or the National Security Advisor when they signed up with Trump to prevent harm from coming to the country instead of waiting to release all the information and become New York Times bestsellers.
Did you just tell Grandpa no shade on the hustle? There are great moments in black broadcasting, and this has got to be one of them. But that being said, as I look at this dynamic unfold, people don't understand. New York is about money. Washington is about power. Nayyera, you're one of the few people that has actually worked inside an administration. Describe the intoxicating effect of power and how it can affect the judgment of people that normally might seem somebody that we actually see at our family reunion.
Oh, it brings out in you what is already there, right? The access to the White House and the West Wing and the events and all the publicity. And if your compass is about public good, then it brings out the desire and the opportunity to do public good. If your compass is about self-promotion, then yes, there are plenty of opportunities in Washington, D.C. to promote yourself. And those are also the same people who flame out dramatically.
So if we're not going to throw shade on the sister, let's talk about the brother, Barrett. Clarence Thomas saying it is not fair to politicize the Supreme Court. Says we're making too much about his wife, Ginni, who was outraged at a Black Lives Matter banner in their Virginia hometown. She also appeared at that Stop the Steal rally on January 6th. He says politics have to stop at the pillow's edge in their household. Should we cut him a break?
No. We definitely should not cut him a break. You can't find something more. That's just so hypocritical. All these conservative justices are saying that politics are ruining the court. Well, we all know that the method for getting them appointed to the court was through the Federalist Society, who works really closely with the Republican Party to get their preferred people nominated because they feel that their values as a judge align with the Republican Party. And these judges are now articulating that they want politics to be gone and saying that they don't have a political agenda, even though they're being nominated because they've been identified that their interpretation of the law aligns with the political view of an entire party. It's it just doesn't make any sense. And then the fact that, we're talking about Ginni Thomas, we all need to talk about Ginni Thomas, because if this was another court, a lesser court where there was oversight, Clarence Thomas would need to recuse himself from so many things because of the connection to his wife. His wife is coming at her saying these absurd things that they just kind of have cursory conversations about the law, and that her actions or her beliefs or her whatever doesn't have anything to do with his decisions or his interpretations of the law. And that's just totally absurd. And so, no, we don't need to cut Clarence Thomas any slack. We need to really focus more and more on the hypocrisy of everything that he's saying now that he actually says things out loud. He used to not make any comments at all, but now when we get to hear what he thinks and says, we really need to focus on that, because that's objectively what you should do for SCOTUS. But the fact that it's so absurd means you really need to focus on it even more and talk about how problematic it is.
Now, your last word goes to you. Candace Owens is a Go ahead.
Actually, to his point, Clarence Thomas was the lone dissenting vote on the Supreme Court about releasing the documents, the January 6th investigating committee in Congress. And what did we find out in the documents? That his wife was there and one of the planners. So probably should have recused himself in that situation.
I want to give you the last word on this. Candace Owens is a conservative black political commentator on Fox News. She says that she backs Vladimir Putin's claim that Russia created Ukraine. She said at an event last week, tweeting that Russian lives matter. Her tweets are being retweeted by Russia as part of its propaganda efforts. I guess my question is, why should black America all sing from the same hymn book when white America does not? And how do we present what they say without making it seem like we're against them just because they say it?
I don't know many people of color, black or brown, who think Candace Owens represents them. I do know of many racist white people who use Candace Owens to justify their own racism. So she fills a role, and she has made a lot of money off of that, and grifter's gonna grift.
The password is, I love, by the way, you keep coming up with these things and you just make my head swim, but the password is money. Nayyera, Barrett, we're going to take a break. You're watching DC Today. We'll be right back.